fucking rib restaurant.
We're extremely late and homosexual. We know.
Yeah, very.
Yes, sir.
Not my fault. Carl runs the stream.
It is not her fault. Both of us, the two of us, were here on time, and he was supposed to be the Mexican that was late. But now I'm the nigga that's on black people's time.
I'm on Cuban time all the time, and I still made it.
Well, that's because that's because I got stuck in an elongated vortex known as the Mother Zone.
Brother, I know exactly that feeling.
They want something, and then as soon as you finish that, they want something else. 2 seconds later, when you're walking away.
I'm literally walking away, and she's telling me to get something, and I can't hear her, so I walk. I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. I'm committed to the direction I picked. I'm gonna continue in the direction I've gone, get the object, come back. Huh? I want this. 2 steps towards the doorway. My head goes across the threshold, and I need this too. We don't have that. What do you mean we don't have that? Because we don't have that. But I knew that we had it. That was months ago.
Aw, poor lady.
Now, in our case, there was a period of time where, because of the condition of the old-ass appliances in this house, the particular thing that she wanted was cheese. But our main refrigerator in the kitchen was not freezing or cooling because the internal 80s fan had frozen over because of the state of the kitchen gasket. And if anybody knows what happens with those kind of old things, it's a giant rotor in the back of your freezer. If it ices over, the fan can't move. So the entire cooling element just freezes over like a cold chill. Now, I didn't realize this is what was happening to it, so there was a period of time where the cold chill was actually keeping things at a normal temperature. But then I made the stupid decision of cleaning it. So no ice freezing over equals no freezing temperature equals we now have a problem. Get it fixed, use our secondary backup, which is our actual refrigerator to cool things, keep things normal, but shit went bad, deal with the problem. She doesn't know because she forgot. So when I tell her, she is freshly upset. It's a living chat. Anyways, besides our onset case of homosexuality, we're joking, we were always gay.
That ain't changing anytime soon.
Those of you who might have noticed last night, might have noticed that for some of the notes that we actually have here for these things for the rapid fire, I covered one of them last night. Man, have you ever seen a plane explode midair?
Yep.
Like, there's really no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like, Boogie screwed Boogie in a way that I don't think anybody inside of any kind of, like, wrestling performance could have ever planned for such a mark to take a fall. That man jobbed himself in a way I'm embarrassed for him. Okay? And this is half the reason I feel like all of us are exhausted, although in my case, I was there doing it as an emergency versus chat. I was exhausted and flabbergasted by the end. It was
You're exhausted and flabbergasted. I was watching it in real time, giggling like a schoolgirl, bro. This shit was funny as hell. It was literally that gif of a dumpster fire floating through a body of water, probably a flood, and is just floating and is on fire. It's literally that.
I can't imagine. Because I
just sat there reminiscent of the fucking Donald Glover walking into the fire.
Now, there was 2 particular points where in the middle of that, I literally just cut recordings and then posted them and added Keemstar. No assurance if he'll look at them or reply to them. Probably not. But no. I just want to pick Keemstar's brains at a couple of particular moments, because the way that this goes down, in Boogie's mind, Boogie decides, either because it was Mudahar, Destiny, both of them, Nicholas Fiorio, or a collective of everybody questioning him, as well as just being caught, that he's going to commit to disappearing and removing himself from the internet as a whole. Just, it's the Boogie experiment's over. I'm packing it up. I'm going it in. I'm fine with going down as an internet thief.
So, you don't understand why he's doing that? Is that what the question is?
No, I understand why he's doing it. I am on the exact same position as Medicare. It's fucking retarded.
It is. He's looking for every issue or every excuse to not do it. And you want to know why? Because he lied.
The question isn't what did he do. It's why the fuck did he think that was a good idea?
Because he's retarded.
Correct.
I had the pass. I am neurodivergent. I can say that.
You and I both. Don't worry.
I'm African American. I can say it for free.
Yeah, I'll...
Get it for free?
I believe the standing. It's not even really a theory. It's just a well-educated guess by everybody. I guessed it on the point when I saw it. You probably guessed it. Xylee guessed it. Destiny guessed it. Medicare guessed it. Keemstar was dead-ass the first one to say it. And then everybody else played on top of it.
Yep.
He, like a fucking idiot, went to the internet, probably went to WebMD, saw a version of what he was told they're going to attempt to do follow-ups of diagnosis. I know exactly how it happened. My mother is a doctor. I know exactly how this happened. We're going to do some tests because we're going to be looking for this, this, and this, and this, and we're going to have a hope to pray that it's not this particular disease. Boogie gets scared, runs his little fat ass to his computer chair, plops his ass down in the chair, nearly running the goddamn gas piston up his ass, but it wouldn't reach anyways because there's too much blubber in the way. Googles what he has, sees the cancer, what he hopes is the most dangerous version, and assumes is the most dangerous version.
And then he pops up on YouTube and goes, "Hey, mouse, I have a cancer."
Mm-hmm.
Then Frank, I love it.
Then whatever specialist from whatever group it was, whether it was radiology, whether it was a nurse, whether it was his doctor, his medical primary, his second medical primary, or his insurance team, confirms to him, no, you do have a cancer, but you don't have the cancer. In Boogie's own words, the cancer starter pack.
The Animal Crossing of cancer. Holy shit, when he said that, the laugh that I was laughing, I was cackling. I was full-blown Wicked Witch of the West cackling. Oh my god.
You heard my reaction.
See, I was like, Baku was seeing me talk about this in the server, and I'm losing my fucking mind.
Losing it alongside horror. Holy fuck.
We were just laughing. We were like, we're kikiing over here, like laughing at Boogie's demise because he's done it to himself. If it were anybody else, we might feel bad for him, but because it's Boogie, nah, bitch. You dug that grave. Go lay in it.
Not only is it all self-inflicted, it's also on someone who is just consistently self-inflicting this type of shit. This is nothing new, and several of us saw it coming. Not me, I'll be real. I did not see this shit coming.
Oh, I did. I did.
I would have.
This absolutely makes sense. It's just in character.
I would have guessed there would have been another happenstance right before this. Combo them, a 1-2-3 punch, and then he disappears. But comboing a crypto scam into being outed for stolen cancer valor,
For fucking fraud.
and then you sit in the call. And this was the other part that also made me have to ask him the question. You sit in the call knowing your bitch ass cannot confirm what you know you have to say because you know you're fucked. And instead of just taking the fucking and saying, yep, I'm such a loco, I'm retarded, and I thought I was smarter than a doctor. Yep, that's me Boogie. You instead go with the line, I said that I would keep a shred of my dignity. I will never give them my dignity. And I swear to fucking God, if he kept saying that man's full fucking name, because I said it then, and I was kind of half joking, but I'm going to say it again now. I get it, horror. I get it. The first name shit's fucking annoying, because oh my fucking God, how many times did he say that nigga's name?
Multiple.
You think this motherfucker was a goddamn joke again?
Hey, Carl, I put a tweet you should put up on screen while we talk about this.
Okay, I will do that.
It's in the live chat.
Okay.
Chat.
I will do that.
Just so everybody can see me in real time laughing my ass off screenshotting this shit.
When I tell you, chat, when I tell you that Boogie kept repeating, I don't even remember the guy's name, I just know that he kept fucking saying it like his life depended on it. When I tell you this man kept incantating the name of Charlie's friend / co-host who lives in Australia, who apparently had asked him 2 years ago over something, I assume it was this cancer diagnosis. That he refused to give up. His retard card was, I refuse to give away this shred of my privacy. I didn't give it away 2 years when blase asked me, and I'm not doing it now. Fuck you. Middle fingers to the camera. Fuck you, in panorama.
But no. Remember, he started with this. Let me have this. Let me have the cancer. Let me have this one.
Yes.
Just believe me, bro. Let me have this. Nah.
Come on, bro, believe me. I just have cancer. That's why I had to scam the people. That's why I went to Medicare's chat to specifically say, hey, bro, cancer buddies. That's why when he told me to go fuck myself, because when I was using cancer, I didn't scam my fans. Bro, you just gotta let me have it. Bro, why don't you let a fat nigga have something when he's down?
See, Medicare is the reason why I saw this coming a mile away. Because people were posting screenshots of what Boogie was saying in the chat. And him saying that he's using pretty much Ozempic to cure his cancer. Red fucking flag. Neon lights screaming, liar, liar, liar. And what's even funnier is that somebody's come out saying that they're a doctor, they're his brother, and this is true. Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this offhanded during the react that I was doing to make sure that I had the mental rigidity and acuity to lock the fuck in for this shit. One of these girls, I had said something stupid, and I said something to the effect of something shitting themselves on Ozempic. Because a lot of celebrities and a lot of influencers have started taking this drug for weight loss. And the amount of weight that they are shitting off of themselves is so bad that when fucking Oprah took the shit, Gail lost weight. Because they're losing weight from taking this steroid. The steroid causes problems. In his particular case, for his particular disease, steroids of that nature and anything else that fucks with your goddamn cardiovascular system is going to cause an elevated issue that will then ping on your tests as though it is the symptom of a cancer disease, when really it's just your dumbass having a near heart attack, like you're popping stacker 2s and stacker 3s like it's 2009, 2011, holy if you hear me, fucking dollar store, fucking gas station level fucking perks to pop. And still, with the fucking patient portal in your hand, somehow you're telling me you can't find any of your stat notes, any of your lab reports, any shit that you can put up to show, hey, here's where the money went for the test. Here's where the money went for the checkups. Here's where the money went for the therapy. Here's where the money went for this. Here's where the money went for that. Here's the statement from my insurance company. Anything, everything, including your diagnosis. When he got to the point where he was just like, shut the fuck up, I'm still looking for it, yeah. Like, this nigga ain't finding it. It ain't happening.
No. Oh, and by the way, guys, his channel is still up. Didn't he say during the stream he was gonna get rid of his channel and his Twitter?
That was the best part. Cause remember when I said it, I said on the spot, this nigga's pulling a Jalen. He didn't say, I'm gonna quit. He said, it's goodbye for now. I'll come back again in years, but it might fail. So that's not quitting, Boogie. That's you being a bitch and lying, Boogie.
He's hoping the internet's gonna forget and he can come back just fine.
I wish! If there's one thing Daniel Kim in this world has to do just to make sure shit stays fucking copacetic and whole, it is now his job. He is now the Boogie Keeper. It is his job to pull out the logs whenever he appears again, like it's a goddamn fucking mass processional. A golden book of him sitting on the cover with that fucking meat stick in his mouth like a cigar. Please turn to the page of the timestamp listed from Xylee Gets Real. The moment that Boogie tried to lie, and he said that he had it. It's not happening, Boogie. It's not happening.
First of all, the Pastor Keem arc goes crazy, but also, it's funny that we say Keem is the one to have to keep an eye on Boogie now, because Keem is the first motherfucker to know you cannot escape like that. Bro said the hard R 15 years ago, and they're still holding it on his ass.
See,
he had an interview with fucking Etika just before he died, and people are still saying that Keem's the reason for it, which he's not.
He is not. That is not the case.
the problem in the situation is multifold, right? So the internet's having themselves an entire, having themselves a Marvel Universe endgame. Everyone from myself all the way to Keemstar and everyone else involved in the situation, and including the special guest star, Medicare, to drop his level 3 and disappear into the ether. Or, if he takes them up on his deal and he completely fucks off, taking over his spot on Walkout Live. And we still get to have a couple of years left with the Mad Hatter before he kicks the bucket. And all that money that Boogie decided to fucking piss away, he can go into his coffers. And his wife can benefit from it. I wonder if Photo Biscuit could have had such a situation where his cancer, when he wanted to set up Jenna whenever he disappeared, because Lord knows Jesse Cox and fucking Dodger were not going to hold shit up once he was gone, and they surely didn't, that he could have made sure she was whole. I hope that's the outcome we get, because it's better than Boogie trying to fucking lie his ass through whatever the fuck he's planning in his head. Because my Roman Empire in this situation, when he brought his little Elimation twink out, I'm sorry, she looked like it was a media trained moment. Because she didn't look into the camera, she said her statement in such like a hurried, hushed and rushed way, and then she fucked immediately back off to wherever the fuck she was. That did not feel like a partner who stands by her man, right or wrong. Which, that's your choice, but that nigga was very wrong, girl. That nigga was very wrong. If that's your husband, you need to be slapping his ass and beating him fucking dogged like it's Kung Fu Hustle.
Well, boyfriend.
Boyfriend's
They're not married.
Boyfriend's even worse!
They're not married.
So she has no reason to stay there once that motherfucker goes homeless. Anyways, she was definitely media trained for this moment. He bragged about her being on his side.
Yep.
The hush hush rush off tones, him holding the thing off to the camera to show her the shit. I imagine he was thinking up on the fly, but this was rehearsed. I don't know what the outcome could have been, because that would have been a third question, but I know the answer is not going to come, because the only person who would have had that answer is Boogie. And I'm certainly not going to be able to book an interview with Boogie, because Boogie's not going to fucking talk to anyone at this point, because he believes that the moment that anyone reported the news, that he was cooked.
I can ask people to come on and bother people. I not only don't believe I can, I outright refuse to try and get Boogie. That man is not worth the hassle.
No, he's fucking not. This shit was fucking embarrassing. Because that ultimately is the first question, which is, nigga, why didn't you leave? You knew you were fucked. You knew.
Because I don't want to get run around in circles by fucking Boogie of all people.
But on Boogie's case, I know that Keemstar has his opinions, because Keemstar knows he's not gonna fucking leave. He knows that he can't walk away from this. This is probably some of the greatest moments he can use to monetize himself. Him saying that he's fucking broke and he's fucking poor. What do you mean? Here's your opportunity. But then, on Boogie's case, He's supposedly going through his moment of sus Todd. Everything's burning down around him. Why is he still on the call if he knows he's been found out? The moment
because he has a fetish.
Is it really an embarrassment kink?
I think it is. Because he's done this multiple times with All Cat Live, where he sat on stream and just got felted the entire time and didn't leave.
I'm actually surprised that word's in your dictionary.
He is really, really bad at getting out of a situation, or he has a fetish. And for the
I think he has a fetish.
This has to be a fucking fetish. I'm sorry, like, horror. This happened too many times for it to just be like anxiety or whatever.
Barring the humiliation kink, my view and take on it, outside of the I'm gonna try and drum as much attention and then try to leave out on what I suppose is a superior high note, which, nigga, what high note? You're already dead. They already put you in the bonfire.
You're already cooked.
He thought that there was a way for him to talk his way out of it. If he just annoyed people enough, if he just drug it out enough, if he just exasperated them enough, maybe they'd drop it and it just become a meme in the chat. And he could tolerate the meme in the chat, but he couldn't tolerate Destiny running the fade on him. And again, it needs to be said, XQC, Felix was sitting right next to him! How is the most sped-worthy motor mouth junkie able to follow the fucking points of how you are fucked, and he is following along with getting fucked? Do you realize what this means, Boogie2988? It means probably one of the worst content thieves, after getting his shit pushed in with goddamn Mahler and friends, now understands exactly how dumb people like you are. And nigga, we are in a universe where Felix understands these things. This is scary. This is weird!
But do you want to know what the silver lining is, though, Carl?
What's the silver lining?
We get another Medicare stream. It's going to be Boogie Getting Felted Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Is it already booked?
Oh, boy.
Is it already booked?
Yup. He's planning on streaming, I think, tomorrow.
Nice.
Medicare's going to get him.
I think Boogie's not fucking showing up, dog.
No, he's not. No, it's not. It's not him getting interviewed. It's literally just Medicare dogging on him.
You know how Kendrick Lamar is currently crip walking all over Audrey Drake, better known by the internet as, well, Audrey Graham, better known to the internet as Drake, and he recorded and dropped his video. It was in the middle of this particular hoity-toity all-white party. They send out invitations to the party in the form of paintings. If you are an eagle-eyed viewer, in the music video, there is a entire white room segment and a painting facing towards the wall, which, even if it's supposed to be topical, assuming that this is something he was invited to, Kendrick basically crip walked over his musical dead body for everyone to fucking see, because this is a hood issue. So it's technically it's the exact same shit. Our Kendrick in this situation is Medicare. Medicare is about to fucking all over Boogie's fat ass, just because of the audacity that he had to say this shit. And the thing that's real fucked with this, that's gonna make it even sweeter, is that there's not a single fucking pissant thing that most people can say or do about it. Because everybody understands how fucked this is. I'm pretty sure if I look hard enough, I will even find Kevin's bitch ass looking at this situation. That's how fucked it is.
She has. She has.
That's how fucked it is.
I've seen it.
That's how fucked it is. Even the best known enemies know how fucking retarded this is.
Everybody does. Across the board. I haven't seen a single person give him any grace. None.
There is not a single ounce of like alleviation he's getting out of any of this here. He's just getting dunked on by everyone left and right.
Well, it depends. If he likes anal, he'll be able to shit right for a month.
Yup. But
whether it's from this or from the fucking steroids, we'll never know.
If he has any mercy in the world, he'll be fine. Anyways, moving on.
Now that we were talking about somebody fake retiring, we can talk about somebody that actually is retiring that's actually sad.
I would never have guessed that would happen, by the way.
I would, because I've seen. Okay, backtrack it. Last weekend on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, John Cena announced that he's absolutely retiring from ring action the end of next year. If you guys don't understand how huge that is the man that's carried WWE and sports entertainment in general on his back for almost 20 years plus. That guy is considered by a lot of people as the greatest of all time because of what he has done.
Atlas is finally setting the world off of his shoulder, or the sky off of his shoulders.
Yeah, like I knew it was coming because I'd seen some articles about him saying that the sun is setting on his in-ring career very soon. So when it happened, I wasn't shocked, but I was still sad. And I will say it right now and not be ashamed of it. I did cry because when I started watching wrestling, he was just coming up.
That was his rap persona, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I came onto the scene and started watching wrestling around the time that he was in the Thugonomics era, transitioning into the Cena we know today.
Mm-hmm.
And he said definitively, come the end of next year, he's not only retiring from the ring, but he's retiring the jorts, the shirts. He's coming in a suit and tie anytime he shows up to WWE. It's done. It's not like those, I'll come back later things. No, it's done.
It's so over. Oh my god.
Now, is it related to a type of injury, or is he's just done with the
he knows that his body can't handle the same level of performance that he used to have.
I see.
And he's of the mind, which a lot of wrestlers are, I would rather go out early when I feel like my body is not capable of it than continue to go and put on shit matches and tarnish my legacy.
Okay.
But here's the thing that I am so fucking excited for. This last year is gonna be fucking amazing because he's apparently showing up. He's wrestling 40 plus times this coming year. The rivalries, the dream matches, holy shit, guys. As a fan, I'm excited as much as I am sad.
I mean, it's still mad fucking cool, even if it's like just how sad it is.
It's gonna be fantastic, and it hurts because a lot of people are used to him and adore him, even though they used to hate him. We know that it's right. It is bittersweet.
He would rather leave safe than shattered, and I can absolutely say that is probably the correct move. And I hope the best for that man.
Yep. And I apologize, everybody. I know wrestling is a weird niche thing that not a lot of people talk about, but he's one of the biggest superstars in not only wrestling, but in Hollywood.
I think his star...
that's huge.
I think his star is actually big enough to rival Dwayne Rock's. I believe so.
The three big ones are Dave Bautista, The Rock, and John Cena. Those are the three big crossovers that have been successful in Hollywood.
It's actually ironic because since Black Adam was fucking horrible and just another fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson ego project, it also means that with Peacemaker coming up, this will free him up for more seasons of that product and whatever else he wants to do, which will actually bring a possible good revival to DC under James Gunn, which would then further elevate his star, which will then just make people have another thing to do and to watch, because while Rhea Ripley has, I believe she's returned to the ring now, hasn't she?
She has. Mommy's back. Oh!
What's back? Oh boy.
While his WWE star sets, he'll just continue going into Hollywood and fucking Hollywood's guts up, and he'll be able to compete with Dwayne in that category, while Dwayne still puts himself in both of these two half categories and possibly renews something that he is directly and indirectly responsible for fucking up. Because the DC Universe is in a horrible mess because he tried to do that whole coup of trying to take it over with making Black Adam into an ego project, which then ultimately led to that whole moment where you didn't have a villain that is supposed to be across from Zachary Levi's Shazam, and also Austin Angel, I think his name is? Austin Angel's Billy Batson, in a universe where you quite literally should have had them, but you didn't have them. Maybe under Gunn, things would be better. I don't have faith in it in the sense of I don't not trust it. It's that seeing what they do at Marvel, and seeing how they're about to piss out Attica all along, I don't have hope in cape shit in general, because, you know, we're still being inundated with the fucking garbage that is The Boys. I'm hoping that by the time that show is done, and whenever they do their extra spin-offs with Gen V and whatever else happens, that will die a very quiet and slow death. There's, of course, memes coming out of it, but the general big thing between the big two, and then any other thing that happens to come in that's being premiered on Amazon, is just that, the MCU, and Invincible. And without anything to fill that void, you kind of need something to bring that property in. So John putting himself in that position means that he's now open for things like The Expendables 5. I'm pretty sure there's been 4 Expendable films. He's open for the Expendables 5. He's open for those animated things he did, like what was it called? It was the one with the bull. Fernando. He's open for shit with people like Inir Gavil. Who wants to see a fucking a great fucking tyrannical warlord for fucking Warhammer? He can do it right. Well, technically, well, probably not, because actually, I'm pretty sure that he left that project because they're fucking it up and fucking the lore up. But anyways, something else that he could probably do. Maybe get rights from somewhere else to be a part of some other fucking continuity franchise. The sky is the fucking limit for him. I think it's good. And considering that Levesque is the head of creative, I have complete faith that he's going to book him for best dream matches, the shit that people would love to see.
Oh yeah.
This girl's gonna come her fucking little brains out, chat. You have no idea.
Dude, we're gonna get Summer of Punk Part 2. Cena versus Punk Part 2. We might get like some of the biggest names to go against him. I don't know, maybe we'll get him versus Randy Orton again, who's arguably his greatest rival of all time. There's so much that they can do, and I'm so stoked for it. But you know what I'm not stoked for?
What?
BlackRock taking over the fucking manga industry.
Oh,
Yeah.
again, they're back at it, huh?
They never stopped being at it.
No, they've been at it. But do you want to hear how bad it's gonna be?
Oh yes, please tell us.
So recently, BlackRock, if you don't know who that is, that's probably one of the biggest investment companies on the planet. They own way too much shit. They're the people that pay you to have ESG and DEI. They have acquired Infocom. If you don't know what Infocom is, that's Japan's largest e-manga platform, valued at $3 billion. And they've put up a $1.7 billion offer to buy that up.
Jesus.
It's always the billions with them.
So let me explain to you how this is bad, and this is gonna get bad. They are, from what they've said, they are intent on making original content. What do you think the biggest market or biggest demographic for manga is?
That's young males. That is definitely young males. Oh, it's not?
No, it's women.
You're right, Jose. Jose, you're crazy. You're right.
Because the biggest industry or the biggest genre that they have right now is romance. And that's because women generally have expendable income that they're willing to use on manga. That's why you have things called Shoujo Beat, which is the female version of Shonen Jump. And here's what Atsuhiko Sakamoto, the head of private equity in Japan, has said about this. The more content we have, we can monetize that intellectual property over time. We can create animation or merchandise around it, which is going to be the potential opportunity in the midterm. If we build a nice content business, I think it's going to be very attractive for a lot of people.
Now that I think about it, that actually is a better content strategy than trying to muscle their way into the young men's demographic. Because the way that I see it, there's 3 categories they can corner the market on: shonen, shoujo, and josei. That means young girls, young boys, and older women. Not all of the older women's stories are the kind of lesbian affair that the Acolyte for Star Wars is. But if they create original content and they just simply say, hey mangaka, you want billions of dollars? Why don't you make a side comic and then you offshore it to our American distributors? We'll get a translator who will, a wink, localize the work for... Come on! Don't you want money? And it'll slowly infect the women. The Western women will welcome it because they love to put their dirty little fingers all over everything else, because Western imperialism, we can't get away from it. We can't get away with it.
On top of that, it's not even just like, I don't know if this makes it better or worse for me when I realize this, but it's not even exactly BlackRock. It's a fucking offshoot of the company. It's like Blackstone.
The problem is,
which is like, oh great. It's not even the fucking like company itself. No, they've diverted to their smaller division. Fucking lovely.
The problem is that anything that is connected to BlackRock, Vanguard, and any other investment company is ultimately still a tendril, an invisible tendril.
It is still them.
Yes.
It's like, goddamn, does our entire fucking industry mean this little that you're like, yeah, we'll let this fucking goobers handle it?
It's really dumb.
Out of here, man.
It's really dumb. Because you'd think when they do this kind of move, they send their A-listers. But the problem is that if they're sending the fucking B squad, it's a wrap. It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen because if the B can't do it, the A will still do it anyways.
Yes, because if there's resistance, they're just gonna send the A squad anyways. And if there's no resistance, whenever the people go on to Twitter, and this is where it's gonna happen, I know it will. This is how it works. They're gonna go onto Twitter. People are going to rightfully say, but this is dumb. We don't want this. People are gonna go to those fabricated and fucking dumb numbers that are obviously gonna be inflated, because the last time this happened, it happened this way too. Comic books that couldn't fucking sell from people like Kwanzaa Ochiseofo, Magdalene Civisaggio, and a bunch of the other people from the Milkshake Gang, headed up by people like Heather Ontos, who probably, if they're not still working for Marvel, have found their way into another company where they have wormed their way into a position as an editor or as an overlord or a supervisor for a project team, despite not having any good credits to their name. Not any credits, any good credits to their name. Secondhand fiddles on 40th, 50th anniversary specials where they're doing guest books the same way that Anthony Birch did for Power Rangers under, I think, not Dark Comics, it was Shout Comics? It wasn't IDW. Not important. They don't have any real credits to their name. They're going to attach themselves to this project because they're going to look for American localizers. They're going to tap all the people that you fucking hate, including people like Katrina, the 30-year-old localizer who literally lies to people. They'll probably tap Discotech, formerly of the people who tried to defend Jello Apocalypse before immediately removing that shit from the internet because that shit stank up to high fucking heaven and they didn't believe it anyways. And all the other people who like to talk shit about things that they don't know about, which includes people like Mother's Basement, Aki Dearest, apparently Digibro still, because they're still in their trans girl arc. Joey the Anime Man, if I didn't already mention him, because he's dating Aki Dearest. All the other trash opinions that come from the Trash Take podcast, since Joey himself lives in Japan and is one of the many English-speaking Japanese people, or rather, Japanese-speaking English people, that are gonna try and attach themselves to any of these projects. Yong Yi! Anyone else that fucking comes out of the woodwork. And random Twitter woke scolds that don't like people like Mallory Jessica Uchihas, the Seattle-based artist who steals from her art store and yet says bash the fash. Or people like Aginxnia, people who hate things like Love Live and other magical girl and or idolcaster shows, but heavily want to have an opinion about what the art looks like. They're gonna hire these people to either be localizers or be suggestive artists on what the Western audience would like to see in an Eastern product. The mangakas at first will resist, then they'll say, fuck it, I'm gonna make enough money. They're gonna make money from these books simply because they'll be number 1s and number 2s and number 3s and 4s and 5s and 10s. But they're not gonna sell in droves the way that Redo of a Hero did. They will not sell in that number because it'll be Western shit, not Eastern shit. But they'll still take those numbers, and when people like Grums and Kabrutus Rambo go on to Twitter and say, harump, 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 this is bad, these things don't sell, they're gonna pull out these numbers and slap them across the face and rub it on their face the same way that Medicare's gonna be rubbing it all over Boogie tomorrow. And it's gonna then lead to people who are gonna see them do that, and they're gonna jump into the issue like fucking cockroaches. And from there, it's gonna manifest into a goddamn horror. It's really fucking stupid. It's really fucking dumb. But that's how it happens. Every single time, like clockwork. And these are the same people who fund those firms that you don't like, that write all the shit that you hate, and all the games that have been producing trash. They are the ones that write the blank check that then goes into the hands of the developer, that then gets rammed up their fucking ass, fist first, all the way to the wrist and up the forearm by those same people, telling them, and if you don't do it this way, you don't get money to make your game. But this time, if you don't write it the way we want, we're gonna call you a racist Nazi bigot, despite the fact we're using your medium to steal money from your investment firm, from your investment spree, from your market share value, and we're going to destroy and run it all the way down because we don't respect your medium, but we do respect the almighty dollar. That's what's going to happen. It's gonna be a timeline of events throughout, I would say, a year. Because a year is a good amount. Because you're going to have to write cores for these things, of course. Cores spelled C-O-U-R-S. Because they're going to be in arcs, of course. Got to have an off period so that you can plan the next arc, of course. We're talking Namek Era Saga, Blue Era Saga, Fighter, Tournament of Power era shit. Doesn't matter what the book is. It could be a fucking book about death flags. It could be a book about, actually no, what's worse is I'm pretty sure there's a thing coming down the pipeline for Ranma 1/2, isn't there?
No.
They can sling some money around to try and get somebody onto that. And then all of a sudden, what's this about transgender rights and Ranma 1/2? We've never talked about things like this. Sweetie, actually, they've always had political standings here. Your ears are gonna bleed. Your eyes are going to want to hurl, and your ears are going to bleed. And it's going to be that for a year. And then when the core picks back up, they're going to say, oh my god, it's so good that the book isn't being inundated by the judge! And then they're going to fall off, because they're going to look over, and they're going to see that we've already given up. Or rather, we're not there for them to mock to, because we're busy doing something else. Anything else. Because we already know it's a lost cause. Then they're going to abandon it, like the vultures they are and the cockroaches they are. They're going to scatter to the winds. It's going to fall down. They're going to lose that giant income sale bump. And it's going to then require them to pull the money out. And when they pull the money out, the mangakas are not going to write the book anymore. It's going to be a failure. They're going to look at the number inside of the fucking sales call and say, yep, that was a fucking piece of shit. And then they're going to fuck off that money. But the damage will have already been done to the industry. Industries, actually. Because this will have a very giant adverse effect on the mangaka market and the artists and the ultimate view of the seas. Because really, nothing's stopping them from just asking a couple of doujin artists to make something. Right? Like, we're at the period of time now that there's enough distance between the supposed accursed animation and the accursed Dojin that we could just get a fucking animation of Metamorphosis. With all the fucking Funimation voice acting you want. Pray that...
Do not put that evil on us, Carl.
Pray, dear Lord Jesus, that they choose Brittany Kardashian and not Monica Jean Real. Please, I do not want to hear her getting fucked across mic from Customer Savant.
Brother, I do not need that fucking... honestly, I don't give a fuck about the culture war shit, but god damn it, do not play that evil on us of Metamorphosis animated. God, fuck.
Look, I had to suffer through Fruits of Crystalia, I had to suffer through fucking School Days, I had to suffer through Summer Radish Vacation.
That woke me back up. Oh god, no.
There's a lot of things that have been animated over the years that were just straight up porn light novels that have had all of it stripped out of it and made into Americanized material because there's a bunch of people who were bored. And they spread their legs so that Goblin Sprayer, there's the porn edit, Goblin Slayer, Interspecies Reviewer, Redo of a Healer, and Gushing Over Magical Girls could run. And this is gonna be, it's gonna be horrible. If it doesn't make fucking Mira roll in his grave to the point that we discover fucking phantom energy and we can power our goddamn computers off of it, there's gonna be a permanent scar in the manga.
For those of you in the crowd, in the audience, that
I'm done.
detrimental effect on the anime industry. God fucking hope this never fucking takes place. Thank you.
Anyways.
And we could talk about another very bad looking effect on TTRPGs. So, those of you who are aware of what Warhammer is probably fucking hate Games Workshop, right?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Have you guys heard of the now defunct Warhammer, what was it, Fantasy?
I actually have not. Tell me about it.
Yes, you're thinking about Fantasy 40K.
Yes. Fantasy 40K, which is basically like the prequel to what 40K is. It's a bunch of different races. It's an easier, effectively, to get into for those who play D&D and not. There's similar games to 40K. It's very fun. It is. It's been defunct for a while. So, a well-known 3D model designer by the name of Iman Gazmi, or Iman G, saw that this property was unused and said, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at what these designs are, tweak them, and then I'm going to give these 3D model designs for free. I will have a Patreon if they want to donate to me, but it is not required to use these models. Guess who found out about that shit? Games Workshop did.
Fucking GW.
And they started by shooting a cease and desist to him mid last year. And then, come September 2023, they send him paperwork saying, you are going to court for intellectual piracy. Fucking be there. What is so fucked about the situation is they initially say, drop the production of this, remove the models from your site, delete your Patreon, and we'll leave you alone. They didn't leave him alone. He's still going through legal proceedings with these people. These fucking assholes. Because they say that the damages to them are potentially priceless. That's code speak for infinity and beyond. I'm gonna sue you for whatever fucking much I want.
Fuck right off.
Exactly. And what's even worse is that it's very well known they have not used this property and don't plan on using it for quite some time. There is an alleged relaunch of the old world in the distant future, but is not planning on being there anytime soon. They've dragged this out so much that Iman has to put up a Patreon, not a Patreon, a GoFundMe, and he's run out of money in savings to pay his lawyers. They're working for him still, or representing him still, on a promissory note. They thought this was going to be done in December 2023. It's
for all
July.
It's fucked.
It's so fucked up. There is a GoFundMe for it. It's really fucking sad. I hope that this guy gets the $45K that he needs to pay his lawyers. He just wants to be left alone, man. He's just tired. And he just wants to be left alone.
I just hope GW fucking loses.
They won't. They won't. I just hope they drop it and they leave this guy alone. That's what I want to happen. But from one shitty person to another, what you got, Aku? What you got for us?
What? Oh boy, Neil Gaiman.
Oh boy.
Let's not mince words here. I'm gonna preface everything I'm about to say with the following. We don't entirely have confirmation on everything I'm about to go through. So be mindful that there are bits and pieces that we're still receiving info on, and there are updates to get. Let that be the first thing I say, so that if anyone hears me, get fucked.
Legal jargon, ladies and gentlemen. For all intents and purposes, all of these things that are talked about are alleged. They are not facts. They are opinions and alleged. Thank you.
To start, the general gist of it, of the main situation at hand, is that Neil Gaiman is being just accused left and right by, I believe, 2 or 3 different people currently, of sexual harassment. And very overt sexual harassment, no less. It's pretty bad from what is being described as.
Can you give us a TLDR on what is being alleged?
It's mainly sexual assault and direct harassment from, I believe, a maid and a former coworker.
Oof.
Sorry, maid and former partner, not coworker. My bad.
Oof.
So an ex and a maid.
Oof.
Yep. But it gets more interesting when you look into the information and notice some interesting holes in the maid's account. And while it's only like just small holes in testimonies, and of course that could all very well just be just bad memory. I do very well believe that there's enough holes for me to go, maybe there's an angle to this.
Maybe this is fishy, because I'm smelling tilapia.
Yeah, it's got real fucking fish smell all over this shit, because oh my god. It is to the point where it is believed to be, at the very least, from our general audience, that there is more than likely just a defamation case in the coming, and I no blame there, because it looks pretty fucking bad at what they're doing to the guy.
So you're telling me that we're gonna have Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard 2 Electric Boogaloo is what you're telling me?
The worst part is, like, I believe it's the partner. They were the one who alleged sexual assault, and the worst part is it may have just been guilt, not actual assault, and it's just because of age gap. Because mind you, they were not a minor; they were legal, but they were like 19 or 20, I believe. And Neil Gaiman was like 40.
It's weird.
It is weird, and my preferences don't help here. And I will say, okay, kind of neat, but also, god damn it, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
if this is the case, and it is not actual assault, and it is just regret, that is a significant issue.
Oh yeah. I mean, that whole. Well, as somebody that's gone through sexual assault and abuse from a partner, I can understand the intentions of the Me Too movement. However, that shit has been co-opted so hard that it's been made that it's been made okay to pop onto Twitter every time you dislike somebody and allege that they have done you wrong in a sexual or emotional or what have you manner.
And it's not even just that. It's like, it's gone to the point where it's like, it's not even just Twitter. It's the news will pick up anything if you're big enough and will drag you by anyone's word except your own.
Sensationalism is the entree of the evening.
Sensationalism is art of journalism, baby. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yep.
Messy business is not the fucking word for how fucking stupid this is. Holy shit.
Agreed. Ugh. Was that all there was to it, or
That is, I believe, all that we have at the moment that I can go into.
Cool beans. That's big if true, but we'll have to see. And speaking of, since this blends in together so well, speaking of having an angle on things, if you guys aren't aware, there is a YouTuber by the name of Pierogi, also goes by Scammer Payback, who has been catching a shit ton of flack from a subset of people who used to be in his audience. Oh boy, this has gotten deep as fuck, and Baku can attest, because we both looked into this.
As someone who formerly kept an eye on Pierogi, and just, as someone who used to be in this sort of scene and used to witness all this, watching Pierogi was just a good experience of someone who knows what they're doing, someone who does it in a both fun and entertaining way, and in a way that works. They are actually useful.
Yeah.
And see these members of the community who used to be alongside Pierogi now turn face and go, yeah, by the way, he abused all of us. He took all of our money. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what?
Yeah, it's gotten really bad. And to say, I will read this for you so you guys can understand how bad this is. This is the end, and I'll show you how this. I'll talk about how this plays out. He put out a tweet on the 5th, so 7 days ago. He put out a tweet and says, "This is my formal public request to the individuals harassing and cyberstalking me, our team, and my family. I've taken note of the defamation, slander, and libel, but with the incessant internet stalking and doxing with the intent to harm that has occurred," which that's what doxing implies. There has to be malice alongside it. "I cannot just sit around anymore. I have had to engage federal law enforcement to investigate the matter, and I want to let everyone know that these people have put my innocent wife and children at risk." This is how bad it's gotten. It's because of this group of people and the shit that they're spreading. What are they spreading, you ask? Well. A lot of this centers around a bunch of X-mods. The loudest of which is a guy named Orange Hoodie Guy, or Colin. This popped up in YouTube drama subreddit, and the post is called "Scammer Payback Exposed, Former Mod Speaks Out." Recently, some pretty revealing stuff has come to light about Scammer Payback, aka Pierogi. For those who don't know, this YouTube channel is all about catching scammers and helping people not get scammed by people on the phone. Naturally, everyone sees that what he's doing is a good thing, so it makes all of this harder to believe a lot of people didn't want to believe. However, some of Pierogi's old mods are starting to speak up about their own experiences. At least 7 mods have spoken to his community about how poorly they were treated and how poorly Pierogi views his fans. There's a lot being said right now in the community, and this was the response from just one of the mods. Considering this one is one mod, this isn't even half of the full story. Top it all off, the mod stories are all lining up. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I've only seen this particular one, and this is the one that's getting the most traction. So, in late May, early June of this year, Collins posted a video called "My Experience in Scammer Payback." And let me tell you, he's not given any any proof in this video. He doesn't give any proof until the third video of 4. And this one is basically, it's unlisted, number 1. And basically, it's him talking about his experiences in a general sense with pierogi. And the way he goes about it really sets me off. Though, because this is all a sob story video. That's all this thing is. And he basically starts out saying he joined this server and this community during COVID, which, not surprising, everybody found a community during COVID. And he says that he is lonely and he needed people to talk to because he's an extroverted person being forced to be introverted. And because he wanted to be liked so much, he became the second highest paying member of the community. Let that sink in. A former pay pig and former mod coming out with grievances against a YouTuber because they feel they were mistreated. Have we heard this before, chat? I'm pretty sure we have.
Yes, we fucking have.
The rape allegation comes in 5, 4, 3.
Oh, that's later. That's not in this video. But he admits, and this is the red flag number 2. The first one was second highest paid, or the first one is highest paid member of the community. Second one is he admits that he did a lot of drinking with other members. And I believe he's an alcoholic. This is just my my thoughts on this, especially because of how he ends this video. He makes a ton of claims against Charlie, another person, and pierogi. Or he says that he's close to this Charlie person who's the first highest paying member. Apparently the person that put pierogi on the map. And pierogi, parasocial. He was so parasocial. And he makes a comment while he's talking about this. That's red flag number 3. He gives the gist of, we were so close, I have all his information, but I won't share it. And then he brings up his kid. Red flags everywhere. You get a red flag, you get a red flag, you get a red flag. Everybody gets a fucking red flag. This other thing also leads me to believe that he has another vendetta in this, and he says that pierogi was in private chats with his wife. Think about that really quick, guys, because he's gonna come up to this later. And on top of that, he admits that he misused his power at his workplace to take down websites to help pierogi. So you're sus as fuck to begin with. Take the pin out of that previous note about him, because he admittedly states that during this time, his marriage was in turmoil. And he admits that part of that is because he was being a creepy, flirtatious fucker to pretty much everybody. And his excuse is, I had boundaries, but those were blurred when drunk. And he drank a lot, apparently, from what he said. But think about that. This guy is pissed, and part of why he's pissed, allegedly, is because his marriage got fucked, and allegedly his wife was in private calls with pierogi. Connect the dots. Because I did. Then he goes on to say that you guys see one part of pierogi, but I saw the real pierogi. Pierogi is a peer-pressuring, two-faced, absolute narcissist, is what he's basically saying. But, while he's saying this, he implicates himself, and he makes me even more sus of him, because he admittedly says that he was willing to give the donations that he did to Pierogi. He admits having donor wars with the #1 donor, Charlie. He admits that these donos made him feel less depressed and more seen by the community and Pierogi. Can you say parasocial, chat? I can. He then goes to say that Pierogi was allegedly talking to people behind his back and saying, don't associate with orange hoodie guy because he's going to take advantage of you. He's trying to use you. And literally the next thing he says is, yeah, I mean, I did do that, but not the way he says it happened. So you admit that you use people for your own selfish gains. You admit that you were manipulative. Gee, that makes me believe you even more. He says that Pierogi would pit people against each other, which, guess what? This guy did the same thing. And then he says this video is it's unlisted because it's for the community. It's not for clout. It's not for clout. I don't want any attention.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Uh-huh.
There's actually an association I can make here, funny enough.
Oh?
In the youth community, and this is a small tangent, there used to be someone who went by the name of JCD Godot.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, they were just a relatively small person. Nothing too crazy of note, but they did go around doing a lot of interesting shit. And then, and at the time, by the way, I used to work with them for some added context as to why I know this, and where I stand, for that matter. And then she puts out a video and blames several members of the community, 2 of the main figureheads, as well as even myself, and tries to tear them all down by saying, oh, they're all transphobic, they're all sexual, this person's a sexual abuser, this. It later turned out she was actually talking to a minor and was trying to get people off of it by throwing as many people under the bus as he could to get away from it. So, chat, just don't be surprised if you hear some interesting news coming up after this.
It's funny you say
they
that.
did it, but it's just something that with the territory and with the the reputation they already hold, I can't say it's too far off either.
It's funny you say that because he brings up a few things. He also talks about, which this leads me to believe that he is doing this for clout. And it's the first time I think he's doing it for clout. He talks about how he would make unlisted videos on this channel that he would put in the Discord to interact with, like, hi, hope you guys have a good day kind of thing. And he would put the links in there and the community could look at it. Well, apparently, he eventually was told to take those down and stop doing it because they considered it promoting his channel.
Uh-huh.
He says that mods said that it was Pierogi. Pierogi says it was the mods. But the thing that he says that really stuck in my craw is maybe he was afraid of people liking me more.
Oh, yeah, sure, buddy.
I have a sound effect for this. Where is it?
Oh, people are interesting, Carl, to put it nicely.
Oh, they very much are.
There it is.
And then what?
I found it. The sound effect. Fucking Sonic Spinball. Here to save my day. Anyways, that's a fucking nightmare.
Continue. Yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna try and blow through this as much as possible because it gets worse continually. We're still in the same video, by the way. He then brings up, I think the girl's name is Hina. And I think this was the initial scandal from Scammer Payback that happened recently, where he was alleged to have been sexually harassing a girl. I think this is the incident. I might be wrong, but that's what it sounds like because of what this guy says and what another person says in the last video. He basically says that this girl named Hina comes into the server, becomes a part of the chat, starts using the chat as a therapy circle. Because they were using it as a therapy circle, they got kicked out. But later, they were brought back by Pierogi and the mod team to be catfish bait for Pierogi's videos. He says that this is bad because Pierogi is using someone's sexual trauma to put them on the front line as sex bait for scammers. Nobody likes this. There was pushback, which there's no... This is all alleged. He never shows any receipts for anything in this video. He says that he has DMs proving Hina was being used. He claims that he has seen DMs of Pierogi sending explicit messages to Hannah with no proof. And if I'm not mistaken, if this is the situation, I think it is, they were proven to be consensual. But what's worse is that this dude, after making that claim, admits that he was doing the exact same thing with other girls in the community. Because remember, this guy's an alcoholic, flirtatious bastard whose marriage is on the rocks. So he admits, yes, he is everything that he is accusing Pierogi of being.
That's not a bit again. Fucking horror.
Yep. And again, more things that he says that are alleged, but he admits to, is abuse of position. He says that Pierogi would use his position as the YouTuber and the main guy that runs everything. He's supposed to. He owns the channel. He owns the community. Duh. To get his way. And he's all about control. While also admitting he did the same thing. There's a pattern. There's a pattern. I am seeing patterns. What's that meme, Carl?
The patterns. Is this something that I said?
No, there was a video that was put out of somebody pretending to be a conspiracy theorist, and they're saying they're seeing patterns and things.
Oh yeah, that one. The colors.
That one. Yeah.
What they mean. Yes.
Yeah. He then diverts his attention to the former brother-in-law, Brandon, who worked with Pierogi. At the time was the brother-in-law. He alleges that this guy has had 3 channels that have been deleted and banned by YouTube for content geared towards children that contained sexual themes.
Okay.
Which I'm not really sure I believe that, because a YouTuber by the name of FPS Diesel, which is who I found this through, does a stream about these videos and pulls up one of the channel that this guy Brandon owns. It's all claymation stuff. It has the Hulk in it. It has like a Elsa in it. But none of it was sexual. The only thing that was possibly sexual was there's a part where the doctor is trying to cure the Hulk of some kind of pox and has to put a shot in his butt cheek. So he removes the flap at the back of his pants to expose his buttocks and puts the syringe in his butt cheek. That's the only thing that was in that video that I saw that was anywhere close to being kind of sexual, which it wasn't. It wasn't. Let's be real. And apparently, he says that he was kicked out of the community because he was being two-faced, I think. And then eventually he was invited back under a sock account and allowed to stay, but all of his posts were deleted after they were made, and eventually after that, he left the community on his own free will. Put a pin in that, because it's gonna come up later. And why I say this guy has to be an alcoholic is he ends this video by taking a big fucking swig of whiskey out of a open, half-empty bottle.
Well, that's just unsexy.
No, it's gross. It's weird. So, what made me even more suspicious of this guy is the second video that is public, called Confession on My Failed Pierogi Hit Piece, which was posted several weeks after the initial video. He starts this out by saying, I haven't been involved in the community. I'm not doing this for clout. I'm just doing this for my community so that they know to look out for them. Yeah. But he follows it up by admitting he's a scumbag. By admitting that he's done shit things. And follows that up by being petty as hell, bringing up a screenshot of somebody saying that he's circle jerking himself in the previous video and getting butthurt about it.
I don't think he has the right to do that.
No, and even more butthurt comes out because he decides to pick up and put a thumbnail of the Chud Logic stream covering this on the screen, saying, oh, he's just looking for clout. This isn't a hit piece. It's not a hit piece. Cry, bitch, moan. Yeah, it was. Don't be stupid. He then goes to cope about his parasocial relationship with Pierogi, which we're already aware of, and then says that, and this is the only thing that I believe him on, that certain perks for members were not being provided, i.e., certain tiers would be entitled to a monthly private call. Allegedly, these were not being met, which, okay, fair, that's fucked up. He shouldn't do that. He should be refunding them for that because he's not providing what he is advertising. He then says that because my channel doesn't have any content besides one video, I can't be doing this for clout. And that the backlash itself is proof that people believe him. Cope.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Hope. And what solidifies him being a clout chaser, other than the fact that him doing this in all of his videos, is in the smuggest of tones with the smuggest of expressions on his face. He says that he is open to having a serious conversation, air quotes, with Chud Logic and EG Lately if they wanted to, both of which covered his bullshit. I'm gonna assume he wants to do that on a stream, and that's just him chasing clout. Come on now. Come on now.
It's comical. It's comical.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. You are shooting yourself in the foot. I do not believe you because of the way you're handling yourself and the way you were acting. And I hate it even more so, and I just don't believe it even more so in the third video that he posts, just a week after that previous video, called Scam Baiter or Scammer Who is Pierogi. The intro is literally showing a clip from a movie of a KKK meeting. And then he says that, oh, look, we're a cult, but we're wearing orange hoodies and orange shirts instead of white robes. I'm blinking so slowly and so hard right now. I was baffled when I saw that. I don't understand how he thinks that's a good look. At all. He shows the first receipt of anything, and that is a post from Pierogi's Discord basically saying that he's shutting the Discord down. It's been gotten too big, it's difficult to moderate, and he doesn't have the time. He thinks that his resources are better spent on making content instead of trying to moderate this community. And allegedly this is because he keeps kicking and using mods, which I roll my eyes at. He then thinks it's funny to pull up a stack of papers, throw them behind his back, and say, I had a script written for all of this, but fuck it, we're doing it live. And not only that, he goes, I bet you're looking for proof of all of the stuff that I have alleged. Well, I don't have it because I purged all of that a long time ago. I'm supposed to believe you, and you say that kind of shit?
Yeah,
Really?
No, I'm just towing the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a travesty walking at absolute best?
Yeah. He take a pin out of that first thing that I told you guys about how he left the first time. In the first video, he says that he was banned. In this one, he says that he left on his own.
So that's legal
because he was being mistreated. Yeah. You contradicted yourself, buddy. And I've seen it in real time. He then, which, what I say, there's a doc. These people are allegedly doxers. What he says next makes me believe it, because he brings up somebody by the name of Dale. I don't know who that is, and he says that this Dale person is spreading a rumor that he's doxed Pierogi's address and phone number. The only thing he agrees to, he says, I didn't do that, but I did use his first name because it's public. And then he goes, if you want to find out for sure and get confirmation, here's how you do it.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
Soft doxing is still doxing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. It's... You literally are pointing people in the direction of how to find this guy's information. And you think that looks good for you. It doesn't. It makes you look like a shitlord. And it makes you less credible. Mm-hmm. He then brings up the ex-brother-in-law, Brandon. Or Brad. I fucking don't remember. I was doing it on 2x speed. It's the ex-brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. And starts telling people about how they can find his name. So you've done it not once but twice. Directed people on how to find this guy's information. Wow. You're a great human being, aren't you? He says that this guy is a vulture. Talks about the whole 3 YouTube channels that were banned for sexual content targeting minors. Says that he was involved in Elsagate, which I haven't seen anything besides there's a claymation of Elsa in the video with the Hulk, and she's doing nothing but, like, making, like, snow in a different color appear in, like, what looks like a flower petal bowl. Like, what? He admits to being a double agent, but which he said he wasn't trying to do. In the first video, he says, I wasn't trying to put people against each other. But now he says, yeah, I totally was, but it was only to out Brandon for the asshole he is. Earlier, he also says he wasn't a mod. He now admits he was a Facebook mod, which contradicts his last video. But it doesn't matter because the Facebook page is dead. So sure of yourself, but yet you continue to contradict yourself and fuck your story up every single time. He brings up that he was asked by Brandon in private DMs about getting more Facebook mods in September of 2021, and he alleges that this guy threw someone by the name of C. Jones and Charlie E.O. under the bus. which were suggested for mods, and he said nah, because he wants to keep power in the community. He does show receipts of this. It really only shows that Brandon thinks that there's something wrong with them. Yeah. It seems like he just doesn't like them for some reason. But there's nothing besides him saying definitely not C. Jones or Charlie when they're suggested as mods. I'm not seeing anything that's weird out of this. Besides, like, at worst, he says, can you not reach out to these two people? And because I really am not looking to stir shit up. And then he says, you guys are good about not stirring shit up. And then he follows it up by giggling and saying he's an absolute shit stirrer. Orange hoodie guy is a fucking asshole. He then tries to passive-aggressively tell people of the community to report the Scammer Payback channel for ban evasion because one of the owners is somebody who's been banned previously. Kind of like the Keemstar thing, where his original channel was banned, and then he almost had Drama Alert banned, but they let it slide because he's a big... You get what I mean. He's a big creator, and YouTube wanted to keep him. He's telling the community members, hey, go flag this guy. Go tell. Go snitch. He says that everybody that went against Brandon and Pierogi were literally like just stonewalled by them and alienated, which I can understand because you're trying to be like super fucking manipulative and you've admitted it. And then he shows an image of him, the last message he left when he was leaving the Discord the first time, which he said was banned. It was him being banned previously. Yeah, he says some really nasty shit. And basically calls out Pierogi by saying that you let the devil whisper in your ear. This guy's fucking bad for you. And he makes this comment. He says, if you want to tell me you would let your son watch videos like this, then that's on you. Why are you bringing his kid into this? Like, why? He then goes to bat for this Charlie person, saying that she basically funded Pierogi quitting his 9-to-5 to do this work. She knows the family personally to the point where they've gone on vacations together. And even with all that, she got banned anyways. I would like to know what exactly happened there to cause that, because if it's anything like this Collins guy, there's good reason. Doesn't matter if you are a paying person. If you are being a snake, your head is going to get chopped. I don't mean literally. I'm talking about the saying, you know, but get the problem where it's at. He says that he claimed, when doesn't substantiate, that a lot of women were taken advantage by Pierogi, and then shows Pierogi's, I think, justified response to it. Basically saying that these people are going around talking about him to other people in a shitty way. So whatever. And then basically Collins responds with, no, Brandon was doing that, no, you. And Pierogi doesn't like that his kid was brought into it. And he says you need to back up and stop before You get clapped because you don't know what you're talking about. I understand because he brought his kid into the situation. That he absolutely should have been called out by this. It's fucked up. Fucked up. You don't do that. He goes on after this. He emotionally manipulates the audience by saying, he was so mean to everybody. Like, he just didn't care about the people who supported him. Basically, he didn't do what we wanted when we paid him money, so he bad. Right. Says this is not about Clout, and this is his last video, but guess what? There's another one, and I'm only assuming there's gonna be more. This last one, probably the dumbest of them all. And it's basically not really him. It's more a person called Gypsy Rose, who was also a pay pig, talking about her experience. But before he lets her talk, he brings up how many views the last videos got. You sure you're not a clout chaser? You sure you're not doing this for views? Because it seems to really be a big thing for you here. So this Gypsy Rose lady is an older woman, very religious, has a lot of stock in truthfulness. She admits that she has issues with donating to charity, thought that Scammer Payback was a charity. It's not. She says that she came into money and prayed to God for where to send it, and then decided to send it to Scammer Payback because she saw his video somehow after just watching quilting videos. Thought he was an upstanding man, prayed he was going to be a Christian, and then got confirmation of that because on one of his members only streams he was wearing a religious hoodie. Okay. She admits that she spent around $2,000 on this guy during her tenure in the community. And then this is what literally tips me off. She says, he never overtly asked for money, but he manipulated people to give him money by making them pity him. Basically saying that the way he worded things was emotionally manipulative. Okay. She further explains that she would buy expensive items off of Amazon wishlist for Pierogi's studio, was a 100 tier member, which entitled her to a monthly private call that she never got. Okay, I think that's the worst thing that's happened in this situation that I believe. She says that this guy would manipulate her by talking softly to her, shouting her out when she donated, and claimed that others said that she was treated differently because of when she donated his response. People, when you get paid or you get donos, it is common courtesy to read them out and shout the person out who did it. Common YouTube courtesy. What the fuck do you mean? She brings in his fucking kid by saying that she thought he was a great dad, and then says she felt so connected to the community when she got stimulus checks she gave him to Pierogi. Willingly. She became so parasocial with Pierogi, she would start calling him little brother. She says that she was so prevalent in the community that she was part of what they called the Payback album. I'm not sure what that was, but apparently 10 people were shouted out for funding this. She went to a meetup that she was really happy about with them. Says that she was like an OG of the community. We know she donated $2,000 at minimum, and helped out by doing hundreds of hours of research, allegedly. She brings up the Hina case as well, and this is why I think it's the same. It's the one incident that he was exposed for previously that was, from what I understand, confirmed to be consensual. She says that she let it slide because it's a one-time thing. Alcohol's involved. It shouldn't be a big deal. but then claims without any proof that other women have come forward for this. Until you show me proof, I don't give a fuck. She brings up like a weird financial thing that I'm not gonna go over for. It's fucking stupid. And what makes me think that she's doing this because of, one, she's upset because money gone. 2, he didn't live up to her standards, and therefore he must be burnt at the stake. Because she says that he told everybody when he took 3 months off for rehab that he was getting help for his alcoholism. But apparently he was going to weekly meetings with his pastor instead. Okay. Gets on him for drinking. Obviously that's a problem. It's apparently a problem with everybody. And then she admits that she had to go to therapy because she was so parasocial with this guy. And her comment that just solidified it was, he's supposed to be the body of Christ, but he wasn't. Let that sink in. Let that sink the fuck in. He thought he was the body of Christ. The fuck? The fuck? This starts smelling of, gay ops, because she said she was banned for guilt by association. I totally think she was, involved in this, because she shows a screenshot of her talking with Colin as proof that, she was banned from the community, and that it's supposed to be guilt by association. But you're talking to the guy that's doing it. She makes comments about the cheating on his wife is between them, and she's not going to judge him, but she's going to judge him throughout this entire video. He basically boils it down to, I gave him money because of my own free will, but he also manipulated me, and that she wants to protect women by putting this out. And she signs off by referencing the fucking KKK joke that he made in the last video. That's where we're at right now. That's the last video that I'm aware of at this point, as of last night. And then there's that tweet. So it's definitely, I'm smelling a gay op. I don't know about you, Carl, but I smell that shit a mile away. Carl? Am I alone? I guess I'm alone. Hello, chat. How are you? That's the end of the story. The moral of the story is, if you're gonna gay op, do it right. Or just don't do it at all. I would suggest not doing it at all. Because there's a reason why they're called gay ops. Because they're dumb. Doop. Doopity doop 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 doop. Don't know where these two fuckers went. I've been left here all alone, and I finished my story. I'm all alone. There's no co-host here beside me. I'm filibustering because I don't know what to do. Sorry, I'm a weirdo. How's chat doing? How are you guys doing tonight? What are your thoughts on all of this stuff? Because it's wild. Wild as fuck. Hello? Dead air. I don't know where they went. We still have one more thing to do before we close everything out. I probably could just cover it. I'm just gonna cover it. It's supposed to be Carl's thing, but I'm just gonna cover it anyways. Oh. Have you guys heard of a guy named Brad Taste or Brad Music? Well, you should, because he's been getting flamed online for cucking to his audience. On the end of last month, on the 30th, this is a little bit back. We couldn't cover it this last week, so now we're covering it now, and it's continued to escalate. This guy puts up a tweet where he took pictures with Hila Klein and Ethan Klein. In 13 hours before that, he basically says great moves, and he's all excited that he's taking pictures with huge YouTubers. Apparently, his audience had such a fit over this because they label Hila and Ethan Klein as zealots and xenophobic that he puts out a tweet saying, "This image made a statement that I did not intend to make, and I'd like to apologize for people who were hurt or upset by this. I also apologize for my quick response as it was dismissive towards people who care about me and others deeply. I appreciate you looking out for me. Cuck. I'm aware that being around Ethan and Hila at the moment is very questionable. I wanted to meet them despite people's valid criticisms of them. I'm aware this is a bad look, and posting a photo with them upset many people. Not the best decision on my part. Cuck." Then says, "I wanted to meet them because they were famous and I had the opportunity to watch a creator who was a pivotal part of my childhood and early YouTube adventures. I had no care for the moral implications at the time. I just wanted to feel cool. Cuck." It continues, because somebody asked about it. "The famous people in question are hated by a lot of people for really strong and dangerous opinions. I call bullshit. And I plastered my smiling face next to them and posted it online. Cuck. I've become sloppy. I should be more harsh on myself. I'm better than that. Cuck." It gets to the point where Ethan has to say something. And on Instagram, he posts that initial picture or initial quote tweet and says, "This is Brad. Someone on the crew was kind enough to get him VIP tickets so he was able to come backstage and hang out with us. I had the chance to speak with him for a little bit and thought he was a nice guy. Here he is apologizing for taking a photograph with me. Because I'm a Zionist, what does this even mean? To those that use that word as an insult, it simply means anyone who believes Israel has the right to continue to exist. According to recent polling, this would include 90% of the world's Jewish population. That means that Brad here would need to apologize for taking a photo with 9 out of 10 Jews. Whatever criticism I have voiced for Israel, whatever financial contributions I've made to the people of Gaza, nothing will ever be enough, because I, like 90% of all Jews, am a Zionist. I've been on the receiving end of rabid anti-Semitism ever since October 7th, but this one made me especially sad." And I don't blame him. I don't blame him whatsoever. I would be pissed about this too. He then responds to this on Instagram. By he, I mean Brad Taste. He says, from content creator to content creator, I genuinely don't understand how anyone's supposed to handle the amount of noise that comes from having an opinion. Cuck. I think I've seen every single side of this situation and be mad at me for a different reason. I'm either doing too much or not enough, and trying to make everyone happy is killing me. Cuck. He then tweets with screenshotting all this shit back and forth and says, "Yes, I backed down and gave up. Call it spineless. I can handle it." No, you can't, Cuck. People calling me a genocide supporter is not something I am fit to ever fucking deal with. Cuck. You think this makes me happy? Cuck. Cleaning up this mess? Cuck. I love to be able to take a photo and post it normally. Cuck. There's been a lot of content that's put up, including a video of him crying because he got a super chat from a member of his audience that reminded him of a bad trip he had whilst on weed. Cuck. He then goes nuts on the first because Abin Preach decides to cover this. Initially, he goes, for my community, I know a lot of non-music stuff has been posted here, and it has been a dumpster fire with lots of emotions, but I'm ready to get back on track with content. Cuck. There is a lot of new music to cover, and I'll be trying to catch up over the next week on new releases. There's a video that was put out by Abin Preach that says, one photo ruined this man's life, and they go over the situation. His response is, it really didn't though. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Not long after that, he posts a video on his secondary channel called Hi. And it's basically him crying about how this situation made him relapse on weed. What the fuck? What? What? It's even gotten so bad that on a recent stream, per another, yes, struggler, a relapse on weed. He says he was sober from weed for 3 years, and that because of this whole situation, he's relapsed and started using it again. Somebody that doesn't have a backbone. But well, like I was saying, a commentary creator by the name of Lyrix posts a clip of him basically letting his girlfriend come into chat and defend him. The tweet basically says, after the drama has been done for days, for some reason, Brad Pace brought his girlfriend on stream today to defend him from the commentary YouTubers, quote, trying to make him into a lol cow. We didn't have to do that. You did that on your own. Breaking, as of today, he's gone through a whole mess of losing his mind again. And it's over somebody in his community who has been proven to be a fucking nutcase. So, if you guys aren't aware, there's a woman by the name of Rose Malay. She was prevalent through the politics and commentary sphere because of her dog shit takes. And I'm going to read them to you on stream in a second. He does a community post yesterday and says, Rose is a creator who I've known for a long time, and they are making huge improvements as a content creator in person as of recently. And it's worth watching their work. They recently made a fantastic video on listening to tons of bad music. And now they have a sample video in the same style. It's fantastic, and clearly a ton of work was placed into it. Now, Rose Malay is a nutcase, and it is a person that has driven me insane for takes like this. Consent is stupid, grape is natural and necessary for a happy and healthy society. Why is the modern world miserable? Because grapists are treated as criminals instead of cherished for their masculinity. Fuck feminism, I wish men weren't so afraid of graping me. Hashtag make grape legal. Another one. I don't understand why it's illegal for a dog to lick my when gay men each other's asses at all the time, and it's perfectly legal. So not only is she okay with grape, she's okay with bestiality. It gets worse. There's a poll she put out at some point. I don't have the exact dates for it. But she puts out, the year is 2050, no woman wants to get pregnant. The future of the human race is at stake. In these circumstances, is it moral to grape and force birth? Wow. Last one. Publicly, I have a grape fetish, but privately, I'm deeply afraid of sex, and I don't think people realize that. I don't know, this is just my way of expressing shit. Sucks that people don't understand it. And this is the person that he's defending. Oh no, wait. He says he's not defending her. He's just trying to let her redeem herself for all of these shitty ass takes that she makes. And the excuse is that she's mentally ill. It might be an explanation, but it's not an excuse for your actions. it doesn't make it any better. See, this woman has a cycle where she starts in a community. I first saw her in the commentary community, where she makes these takes. She takes it so far that she gets outed from the community, goes to another one, does the same thing again, and now she's started it over again in this one. So this is the third community that I know of that she's been in that she's probably gonna fuck up. Exactly. Cool story. Still schizo. Agreed. She needs her medicine. So today, he quote tweets somebody calling him out for this community post and says, "I'm amazed that there are so many advocates for mental illness, but once the illness truly shows how ugly it is, no one wants to deal with it anymore. Fuck you, I'm a mental health advocate. Just because you do bad shit, you can be redeemed for it, but you have to prove that you are redeemable. You have to show that you can grow and that you can get better and that you don't do that anymore." I don't believe that with this chick. He says, "Rose is incredibly mentally ill, not an excuse, fuck off, and no one wants to actually care because it's harder than just an unfollow." No, we want her to prove that she's actually learned from her fuck-ups. But I haven't seen that, so I don't believe it. So many people saying mental illness is not an excuse for the things she said. I know that. It's an explanation. Great, so you understand why are you doing this. She needs help. She needs support to get her out of this. It's textbook trauma. People are telling me it isn't mental illness, and I'm going insane. You're a cuck. You cannot handle criticism. And I've quote tweeted this as such. The last thing that I have that he's posted, and this was just a few hours ago, in all caps, "I am not defending her. She is finally doing something that isn't trolling and seeing genuine success because they aren't begging for attention. I'm promoting the thing that is actually helping someone heal." This is helloing, but I'm assuming it's a typo. "Helping someone heal and do better for everyone around them." My response was, you need to go outside. You are the textbook example of somebody who cannot take criticism and has to lose their mind on the internet instead of getting help and figuring out how to deal with it. Go outside. Get some help.
This is a definition touch fucking grass moment.
Yes, exactly. Dude needs to fucking touch the grass. Needs to fucking touch it.
For her. For him, he needs to grow a spine. Let's be fucking real.
No, what he needs to do is he needs not just touch the grass. He needs to dig a hole in the grass and fuck it.
No, I will say, I think this man needs to grow a spine. That bitch needs to touch some fucking grass. And I know it's a little bit off topic, but I've seen too many motherfuckers who act like her in all these different communities. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh had one. Fucking Megami Tensei has one still. It's fucking absurd how these people can just get away with it too.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It fucking baffles me. It baffles me. It's just insane. Grass isn't gonna cut it. Bro needs to live in the woods for a week. Yes, he needs to disconnect from the internet and go live in the fucking woods like the Unabomber.
Live with Uncle Ted.
But I guess we're filibustering until Carl gets back because I don't know where he went.
That boy gay and slow.
Yeah. He's fake, gay, and slow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yup.
No, there's I guess in a little fun, I guess you could say side topic. There's too many motherfuckers who act like this, right? I'm fucking sick of people just getting attention however they want, getting away with it, and having motherfuckers who just suck their dick about it.
Yeah, they completely excuse it. They just let them get away with it. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can see all this stuff they've done and still think that, oh, they're fine. You just don't want them to be redeemed. They need to prove that they can be. I haven't seen it.
You don't want them to be redeemed. You're correct. Make them prove me wrong.
Exactly. They need to be off the internet. If they're that mentally ill, they need to be gone. They need to go outside. They need to meet people. They need to get therapy. They need to understand that their mental health views on bestiality and grape are wrong.
Fucking foul is at best.
Yeah. and I don't think she does. The big point is that she's never apologized for the behavior that she's shown. She's never apologized for vehemently defending this stuff to the point where she's got on streams and doggedly defended her belief in bestiality and making rape legal.
And I will say, you can fucking tell this is the type of motherfucker who, if someone actually took her on that word, she would very quickly 180 on that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, let's not beat around the bush. If she were like dead serious, that's one thing, and that's fucked up. But you know, this would just be a case of like, she's gonna say this so it could happen and get a bag out of it.
Yep. Carl.
Yep.
Welcome back, Diego.
My back hurts. Ow. Ow.
We finished the last topic. We can wrap it up.
Ouch. That means my turn.
No, it's done.
Oh, I see.
I covered it. You were gone so long that I had time to cover it.
Pain. I blame. Ouch. Everything. Ew. Ouch. Ow. Ow. Back. Pain.
So let's wrap it up so you can go fix your back, my dude.
Anyways. Ouch. Ow. The next one is going to be an interesting one because, ow, that hurts. There's a couple things yes.
We covered it.
No, different story, different news story entirely. There's something in the news that's percolating right now. I need to keep my eyes on. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow. Anywho, apologies, people. Carl has been through the ringer. Anywho, ow. The best thing that I can tell you is when someone fucks with your AC and thermostat, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you don't do something dumb, like put super glue in it. Anywho, Carl needs to go to the bathroom. I will see you all next time. We will all see you next time.
Bye.
Same Carl time, same Carl channel, with a potential chance to see if it's not. Let's see. Bye, everybody.
Have yourselves a lovely night, chat.